Hello, happy equinox. It's so exciting. I love this time of year when the sun moves into the cardinal signs or the serving others signs. And then we have that changing of the seasons, right? So if you go out and look right now, you'll see where the sun is rising or setting. It's like right in the middle spot, the equinox, the equilibrium, the balance between the December solstice point and the June solstice point. So the sun rotates across the sky just like the moon does, but the sun, it takes a whole year. So at the Aries equinox and the Libra equinox, right, or the March equinox and the September equinox, the sun sets just right in the middle of those two spans. If you have a low horizon line, it's rises or sets between those. If you have a low horizon line, it sets due east or due west as it rudders across. So it's nice to get outside if you can see the sunrise or see the sunset and notice where that is so that you know where the sun is moving across your horizon line, right? Tapping us back into our ancestral ways of where we track the movements of the sun and we knew what was coming and the seasons and all of that. So whether your leaves are starting to turn or maybe your bulbs are starting to come up, it still marks a seasonal change for us wherever we are and what that looks like, right? For me in Colorado, the snow has started up high. It hasn't like snowed down where I am just yet, but it's coming, right? So for some of you, it may still be warm, but you can feel that changing of the season and the time. And it's just a nice time to like mark that. Gratitude is always a good thing. But I love this time of the year to like set an intention for this seasonal cycle, these 3 months leading us into the December solstice, right? So I'm going to share my screen and we're just going to look a little bit at the astrology and astronomy of it. Where's my share screen button? There it is. Okay, first we'll look at the astrological chart. Just quickly, we won't stay here a long time, but just see here is the sun, the bullseye character has moved into Libra, which is this symbol here. And that is the moment of the September equinox that marks the beginning of autumn in the Northern Hemisphere and the beginning of spring in the Southern Hemisphere. So now let's go and look at the astronomy because you're going to see this same thing repeated here in this stellarium.org. Free software. I say this every time. But see, here is the sun. I'm actually make this a little bigger. I don't even know if that makes a difference for you, but here is the sun at 0 Libra, right here by the IC, that line of the meridian meets the ecliptic. And there it is. So I'm going to just move this forward a little bit in time so we can see the sun up above the horizon, and we'll zoom in a little bit here. So this is just some hours after the equinox here. So we're still pretty close right there. So I'm going to put the ground on. So we just, I turned the sun on. I'm actually going to put the ground on, like I said. So you can see, right, the sun rose. You could see Venus rose before the sun, Regulus, the heart of the lion, the royal star, Mercury rose before the sun. But here we are, and then Mars and Spica rise after. So here we are at the zero Libra. That's a mixture of 0 and Libra, the 0 zebra point right here. And notice the sun is in this priestess constellation, which astronomers call Virgo, but that's confusing, right? Because the sun is moved into Libra. And if we call this Virgo, then we think like Virgo and Libra. We think the signs and the constellations are the same thing, and they're not the same thing, right? So I just wanted to show that. Here is the sun moving into Libra. Virgo overlays the lion constellation. So Regulus is at 0 Virgo. So when the sun or Venus or Mercury or anything reach this point, that's when they move into Virgo. And then here is where they move into Libra and move across this priestess. So what does that mean when Libra and the priestess are aligned for us right now in our current age? You know, every 26,000 years, roughly, the signs and the constellations will be the same, but they're not the same thing. So one is like these fixed stars, and the other is the way that the sun moves through the seasonal cycle of our year wherever we live. So Libra is the sign of balance, that equilibrium, the equinox, right? It's that time, it's that sign of, it serves others through personal relationships, our personal connections to each other, and how we know and understand ourselves through that reflection of those personal relationships. So I think about Libra a lot being like a dolphin. It sends out its sonar, and the messages, the sonar, the waves that it gets back is like how it knows where it is in space and who it is and all of that. That's what Libra is like to me in so many ways. So when the sun moves into this sign, maybe we have Libra prominent on our chart somewhere, and maybe we don't, but it's that seasonal time to tune into what's happening in the earth around you, what's happening with the animals, the plants. That's the priestess aspect, right? Where she looks at the patterns and notices these things. So it's a time for looking at our world seasonally, but also just our relationships and how we know ourselves, and you know, where our boundaries lie, and where are we compromising ourselves to like keep the peace, or where are we standing in our full power regardless of like that sonar that we are getting back. So anyways, I just wanted to drop in and have a little equinox time with you, and wishing you well, and blessings for your equinox intentions.